The one that you're talking about, I just funded 2 weeks ago, and was a $200,000 funded. I got into the CEO that they have, so that was a 8% commission. So that's $16K. Let me make the math real quick, but I'm pretty sure that was my commission, and that deal was $16K.
If it is 8% on 200,000, yeah, that's like $16K.
Yeah, $16K.
Hey everyone, Oz Konar here with Business Lending Blueprint. I have a good friend of mine here, Jamar. If you follow this channel, you know that recently I've been trying to bring only the people that I know in person, and Jamar and I met in Orlando recently for our one day, we call it BLB Power Day. We decided to have these one-day events a few months ago, and this was the third one, and we're in gear for the fourth one in Dallas in 2 weeks. And I met Jamar there, and I noticed that he's really good friends with our head coach, Cenk, and they've been doing a lot of work. And the first thing Jamar told me is that he funded at that point, how many was it, Jamar? 7 deals at that moment. And that was super impressive. But even throughout that power, there's been a great resource for other members. That I noticed that people are circling around him and asking him questions. So I thought, who better to bring here than one of our members who found success. And I think I see 2 company names, Alliance Realty or Capital. Which one do you go with, Jamar?
So I own a real estate brokerage called Alliance Realty, and then now the sister company is Alliance Capital. Started 5 months ago, and then 4 months already that I've been part of BLB. So my first month was me trying to figure it out, lost, and then I found BLB.
So you were trying to figure this out on your own, like alternative lending industry and funding deals before BLB?
Oh yeah. Like I started the company, right? So I started looking at lenders, and then subscribe. Like try to subscribe to them. I have a couple of them on the phone, lenders, direct lenders, and they could smell that I didn't knew what I was talking about. So they asked me a couple questions, and they felt it, and the question came like, "Have you closed a deal before?" And I was like, "No, but I'm so hungry, and my vision and all that." And they were, "Hey, hold on. I need to go over to where the money is. Hey, I appreciate you have a lot of courage and all of that, but get your feet wet and then come back to me later on." And it's hard to swallow, but I get it. I didn't took it personally, but I was like, okay, and I'll be back.
And then that's how you found us and joined BLB at that point?
Yeah, because like I was telling you, like a good mentor of mine, billionaire, told me you need to open Alliance Capital, and I didn't knew nothing about this industry, nothing. But he is on this industry, and I would say, listen. I told him my eyes closed, but with my eyes closed, I follow your advice. If you're telling me I need to open Alliance Capital and jump into this industry, I will. He told me, don't quit what you're doing, don't quit your realtor, but you need to open Alliance Capital. You need Alliance Capital. He told me these words, never forget. Alliance Capital is the holy grail. It's like, oh wow. So I said, okay. So when I'm done talking to a billionaire, it's like, okay, I don't want to ask him details, right? Like when you get time with a billionaire, they tell you the big thing, right? And now, okay, now let me figure it out, the pieces together. Like how do I get there, right? So for a month, I was trying to put it together, like getting whatever I could get online and videos and stuff, and learning YouTube, all this stuff, and trying to subscribe to lenders. But then I saw you at the bank interview with Sean.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's where I saw you.
Yeah.
And I started, like got to your website, and I started looking at it. Honestly, brother, there's so much that you're offering that I was like, no way, like first of all, like I was thinking on creating a website, and I was like, okay, how much that's gonna be, then I gotta pay like monthly, and I saw that you got everything on your program, right? But yeah, there's so much value on your program that I was kind of like, there's no way that he's really have everything on one spot. But that's how I find you, basically.
Yeah.
The question.
That's awesome, man. You've been an asset since day one, and it seems like you've been taking advantage of our one-on-one and group coaching activities, right? So can you walk me through like what happened after you joined, and what part of BLB have you been enjoying the most and benefiting from the most?
Yeah. Let me say something like terms of what all the value that you're giving. For example, just like I was saying, you have a website. You create that website, just that by itself. Like you could create a website and spend $3,000 already.
Sure. Oh, easy. That,
yeah. Right. Yeah. And all of this is included. You teach email marketing, text marketing. You teach like how to create a logo, like a company, a phone number, CRM, have a CRM, and then also on top of that, it's like you have access to one-on-ones, one-on-one, not just you and 200 people that you have to like see randomly they're gonna pick you up or something that you might be for an hour and they don't pick up your question. One-on-one, plus group calls every week, and then on top of that also introducing you to key relationships to get you started in the industry, right? I'm just kind of like give a brief on just I can't remember how much was the course, like, but it's just way over, value, way so much value that, that's, and about the one-on-ones, like you were asking, listen, I come up with, what I do here, what do this mean? Like, for example, sometimes a lender have something on their guidelines and I don't understand it. And probably, I don't want to go to the lender and ask them something that it might sound like, why are you asking me that? You're supposed to know that, right? I don't want to give that impression. So I'm immediately, booking a one-on-one with Cenk, or, hey, Cenk, help me with automations. I fully take advantage of it. Again, I think, I bought a lot of courses before, and I'm not saying this because we're doing a Zoom, but this is like amazing, Bob, amazing. And just that ongoing Zoom that you could do one-on-ones and all that stuff. Amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you for breaking down like some of the things that we do offer. My vision is to not be a course, but a value add, like a partner to our members, because, you make money from the lenders directly. We're not involved at all, but I know what it is like trying to run a business without any support, right? So for example, as of this morning, I personally signed up to another mastermind, and it cost me $18,000 per year. It's an annual fee, right? Why am I doing this? Because I'm just trying to be fancy. It's always been like that, even when I didn't have money, because I know what it is like to try to figure things out. Things are difficult as is anyways. Like when you're starting brand new, like you, right? You're trying to break into the alternative lending industry. How do you even define alternative lending in the showing you're brand new? And it's easy to Google a bunch of companies and try to sign up with them. But why would they trust you? Why would you trust them? And why would they provide you? Because they're not in the business of training you. They're in the business of making more money with the money that they have, right? So that creates the necessity for a complete system, even for a brand new person to come in and learn all of that. And when we're structuring this over time, I noticed that, sure, we have a lot of content that we recorded, like a course material, but nothing replaces one-on-one and small group interaction, right? So even with like, you're doing a workshop with like 5 people, they ask something and you're like, oh, I knew I was thinking about it. I just didn't know how to ask it. I'm glad this person asked, and you learn. And little things like that in one-on-one, you read something, you're like, I don't get it, man. Like, what does this even mean? You're right. You can't just pick up the phone and call the lender to ask them that question, because you want to have good relationship with your lenders. They're the ones who are going to be approving and funding your deals, right? So when you take all of that into consideration, sometimes we get the question of, hey, Oz, do I need BLB? Can I do this on my own? You're more than welcome to try to do it. Like, it's not like we're the only resource. It's just, why make it so hard for yourself? It's going to be much harder to do that. And this is a very low-key, rare, not talked about industry anyway. So it's going to be extremely difficult for you to gather information. Look how you found me. You found me through a very niche industry magazine, right? That most people don't even know anyways. And you researched, then you've seen one of the interviews. So that took some work to at least get to the source of the information, even before you decided to join or not. Would you agree?
100%. 100%. The only reason I knew about that website is because my mentor pointed it out to me.
Oh, wow.
You see what I mean? Like, I agree with you. I think that's like probably something that you will never run into unless you somehow are directed to it. So
that's the challenging part of starting this business. That's the beauty of it. Like, you come from, we haven't really talked about your background, but in a few short months, not only you're building yourself a successful business that's making a lot of money. Like you were telling me, can you walk me through the last deal that's a great story with the referral partner?
Oh yeah. So the lady who do my taxes, when I was creating Alliance Capital, I say, hey, I want to create Alliance Capital. My mentor told me I need to create this company. So, okay, great. So, she started working on creating me the name, the S Corp, the EIN and all that. And she was very excited too. She was like, man, I know this is going to be a very lucrative business. This is going to make more money than your real estate brokerage. And I was like, I agree. I know. But so then I told her, listen, I know you know a lot of business owners. If you connect me with them, if you know that business financing might be something that they're either looking into or that they benefit them, just that when I call them, I could say, hey, Marangeli gave me your information, that you want an orientation about business funding. That's all I need. That when I call, I could mention your name, that they're already expecting my call. And if we fund the deal, I give you 25%. And she was like, oh, great. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm so excited. That I'm very motivated, to give you clients. I'm very happy. I said, okay, good. So right off the bat, she sent me 5 right off the bat. Oh, wow. So 3 of them are like down the road. One I closed a smaller deal. And then the one that you're talking about, I just funded 2 weeks ago, and was a $200,000 funded. I got into the CEO that they have. So that was a 8% commission. So that's $16K. Let me make the math real quick, but I'm pretty sure that was my commission on that deal was $16K, right? Pretty sure. It's
if it is 8% on 200,000, that's like $16K.
Yeah, $16K. So from that, I'll give 25% to my referral partner. So think about it. Like she when I told her, I was talking to her like a couple days ago. I said, hey, we funded that deal, and she was like, how much? Just curious. She was, how much is gonna be my referral? So when I told her, she was like, oh, I'm so happy. It's like, oh, we need more of those. I said, yes, keep sending them.
She just made $4,000 by just referring you someone. That's how easy that could be. Super lucrative. And the interesting part is that strategy that you used was not a coincidence. That's something that I talk a lot about in the community, right? We were just talking about it before we started the Zoom meeting. That's a major strategy. Sure, we talk about how to generate leads through text message, email, paid advertising, organic advertising, LinkedIn, and all the other channels. But one category that I'm adamant about is how do you create more referral partners? Because like accountants, they're authority figures, right? So when they tell their clients to call Jamar, they're gonna call or they're gonna help you fund that deal because they know their customers and they're relatively easiest to build a relationship with. Like when I was funding a lot of loans just by myself without the business lending blueprint, I had about a dozen different bank managers in my Rolodex and about 20 different accountants that I work with. Why? Because they're in a difficult situation, right? They're dealing with small businesses, and little Oz comes to them and tells them, I need $20,000, I need money, and the accountant is helpless. They just tell them, go to the bank. And we know the situation with the banks. They're not your friends. They're not going to fund you if you're a small business. And then these bank managers, these accountants, the financial advisors, they don't look like a resource to their clients. They want to help. Then Jamar, you show up and tell them, hey, listen, not only I can pay you if you want to, but I want to be a solution to your customers, right? And they more than welcome that. And that's a major strategy that you use like immediately, which makes you obviously super special because you just took action. I talk about this all the time. And then boom, 5 leads, one of them closed, you make $16,000. But more importantly, you cause a change in that accountant's lives, $4,000 just from a referral. Do you think she's going to think more about you right now? Yeah, a lot more. Do you think she's going to send you more deals? Yeah, definitely. What would happen if you had 4 or 5 of her? Then you don't need to do any marketing. Your phone rings and you pick up and you're having 20, 25K per month just from referral marketing. That's major. As you remember, when we were in Orlando, that's an area that I covered too, because I'll mention one thing that comes up quite often recently is that I want people to understand the next step in the game. The first step of Blueprint is for many people, it's the survival, right? I got my job. I need to make a little more money, or I hate my job. I hate my boss, or I tried other businesses like your background. You had the realty company. We have a lot of mortgage brokers. They are highly affected by what's going on out there. The rate increases and the slowdown in business. They're trying to figure out a way. So BLB is great. You start generating income by just following the training. But the next step that we talked about in Orlando, if you remember, is the syndication part, right? Then as you start making more money, now you made 16K. I bet you don't need all 16K to sustain your standard of living every single month. And you have an access of, let's say, $5,000. Then when our brokers start making money, they ask the question, what do I do with the money, Oz? Like, this is good that I make the money. Should I just go buy a property, real estate, crypto? And we tell them, listen, there is this a lot less talked about secret that no one really knows about is partial syndication. You start funding the deals. You become your own bank pretty much and work with the lenders. They do the underwriting. You pitch in on the deals that you're submitting to them. That client that you funded $200,000, right? You could have thrown in $10,000 of that in there, but in that $10,000, you make a lot more commissions. So that your $16,000, which is already very high, could have been $20,000, $25,000. That's like a wealth building tool. So you don't need to do as many deals, right? So we talked about things like that in our live event. So this is in tiers. You're climbing up that ladder. So partnerships are good, and you have your other means of generating other leads. But I'm glad that like we connected in person, because I like seeing people who kind of follow the model, because you are already someone who believe in mentorship. You had your billionaire, mentor. Many people don't have that. And then you were looking for another one for this industry specifically. You found it. So how would you compare that against someone truly believing that they can just do it on their own? Like, what would you suggest someone like that?
Just there's no way. Like, look at the logo.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? A handshake, right? There's no way. You need relationships, right? So anything like I go to your Power Day on Orlando, right? You blow my mind with things that you're saying that to me are we're non-existent, right? So there's no way you're gonna figure everything on your own. I mean, it might take you forever. If you do, you might, but it will take you forever. Like, for example, one thing you mentioned that day, by the way, you gave me so much value. You were talking about, Jomar, you need, because we're talking, like, for example, on Facebook, I got 100 leads, for example, 100 leads. Let's say I close 5. Let's say I close 7. Well, what happened with the other 93?
Exactly.
You blow my mind when you said that. You said, what's going to happen with the other 93? You said, what's going to happen is that they're going to need funding, not now, but 3, 4, 5 months down the road.
At some point.
And they're going to see, what was that guy? What was that guy? What was his name? I can't remember his name. Where's his phone number? I don't think I saved it. I don't know. Boom, they go with somebody else.
That's it.
Because I have no nurturing campaign. So I was like, boom, blow my mind away. I was like, I need to nurture, because otherwise I'm going to eat, help 7, and the other 93 are going to lose.
That's it.
They're going to go to...
That's an amazing point, because some of the questions, thanks for bringing it up, that we get of people who are trying to get started in this business, they go, how about the lead quality? I'm like, there's no such a thing. You're selling money at the end of the day. Yeah, today, like at any given point, whatever you're selling, 3% of the market is ready to buy, right? Whether you're selling homes, crypto, insurance, Airbnb, funding, 3% of the market. But that doesn't mean the 97% of the market will never buy from you. They might not need it today, but tomorrow a need appears. For example, you're a restaurant, your walk-in freezer breaks. Well, that thing is like 15K. Well, the person didn't need the money yesterday. Now the freezer doesn't work. They have meat in there. It's going to go bad in at most 3 days. And that's going to cost them another 10K. They need to go buy a damn walk-in freezer. How would they do that if it is Tuesday and their busy day is Saturday? They don't have cash. Like, they need it. The money's going to come, but they need to cook and serve, and they need to pay the employees, right? So boom, the need appeared. If you don't, I call it smart nurture campaigns. If you don't have a smart nurture campaign, we like to think that we're very special, but we're not. People forget about us. Like, I talked to this guy, like you said, what was his name, Jamar? Man, I don't know. Let me just Google someone else. Boom, you lost it. You were the one who introduced them to those funding options. You didn't get the fruits of your labor. Why? Because you didn't have smart nurtures in place. Now, then you start complaining, dude, I had 100 leads and I only funded 5 of them. The 95 didn't say yes, but it could have been 15 deals or 20 deals if you were staying on them and reminding them who you are. The challenge is, how do you do that? That requires so many messages and emails and all of that, text messages. Well, we provide you the entire automation, right? So you just get that, put that in there, kind of forget about it, but they keep hearing about you over and over again. When the time is right, then they pop out of nowhere. I'm sure it happened to me. Like, it still happens to me. Someone I helped like 7 years ago still calls me, hey man, like, can we get, like, I'm buying a bunch of TVs for my boss bar. Like, I need 7 of them. I need like 20K. Can you make that happen? And because that's how they know, like that's how people operate. That's very interesting dynamic for sure. The funny thing is, well, tragic actually, not really funny. Many people go through life like that, right? So they, for example, they're going to watch this and they'll be like, yeah, that's nice. I would want to do something like that. But then they'll forget about it. But as my mentor used to say, when the student is ready, teacher appears, right? So it's not, and someone else will watch this and be like, I need to act on this right now. Right. So you got to dig your well before you're thirsty. That's like super important. Like you got to get involved with anything that gets you closer to the money. I always say that, right? So start a business. Like, yes, it's easier to be on the receiving end of this and looking for loans and money, but why not become the person who can initiate and facilitate it, right? So we have members who join BLB and they get the funding themselves because now they understand how the credit works, lending works. So if you're in the United States, if you're in Canada, you shouldn't go through life not understanding how credit and lending works. That's very, very dangerous because when you need it, then you're going to get taken advantage of, right? So, but if you understand how this game is played, not only can help others get capital, you build yourself a amazing nest egg or passive income, active income portfolio, but more importantly, you can build a legacy and teach it to your kids and your family how finance works because US is created on financial foundations, right? It's very important. And a lot of people, it just upsets me so much when I see people financially struggle, not because they're bad people, not because they don't deserve it. It's just they haven't worked on understanding how the game is played. Once you learn it, like you see in our community, we have people, even with like master's degree, doctorates and all of that, they still join because they're just curious, what the heck is happening in alternative lending? Like, how do I protect myself for what's coming and all that? So even that alone, I think is to me more important. Sure, you definitely should build a business that deals with money, that gets you closer to money. Like I was recently at an event in New York City. It was a 1-day event. That was the sum of the event. A lot of people showed up just to understand how the financial institutions are shifting and what the next 5 year will look like. So if you're in certain rooms, you like you said, you won't hear those discussions anywhere else because what we talk about, what we teach is not mainstream. You're not going to see the principles of success and alternative lending published at CNN, and ABC channel or a random YouTube channel. So you got to get proximity is power, right? You got to get yourself involved with the people who are in the know. And I'm not just saying this about like just BLB. If you have some other community going on, that's awesome. But community is so powerful. Like, what would you say about our community, what we built here with great members like you?
No, absolutely, man. Like it, honestly, it feels like a family. Whenever you're on these group calls, with Jen, with like everybody who joins over there, with that live event that we have, it really feels like a family because we are on that learning. We all want to learn. And also, I gotta say that you mentioned, and I agree 100%. And I also want to see if I could share a couple of tips. Like you said, take imperfect action. Right? You did mention that.
Yes.
And that's so powerful. Listen, like when I found this course and I saw that, I got the script. I got this, I got that. But I told my lady, my wife, she do my marketing. I say, do the flyers and post them right away.
Right away.
I have no clue yet. No clue. I said, put them right away. Yeah. I have everything I need. Put them. Then I have like the next day, I have two appointments. Never on my life
That's before. It, right?
I got the script. I don't got to think what I'm going to say. It's already on the script. Make the questions, get the answers. You sound like a pro. But a lot of people, they look for perfection. And that is just, you never start nothing because you want to learn everything. You want to be so perfect with everything that by the time you feel you're perfect, if you ever done, I already have a team of 20 people. I'm making so much money left and right. And I failed 10 times already. Yeah. But you're still starting. I mean, I was surprised with somebody, said that like being on the course for 6 months or something, they haven't done that. Like you gotta, like you said, take imperfect action. Just start. And then marketing. I love marketing. And by the way, that's something too that I love being close to you and Jen. Honestly, I mean, in my opinion, you guys are expert marketers.
Thank you.
And you said it that day. Hey, you could be great on sales, but if you don't got marketing, you're not gonna sell nobody.
Exactly.
You could be a great marketer and you will never be out of money because you see what I mean?
Even if you suck at sales, because you are you have access to the water, the foundation, the fountain, right? You might not have the right faucet, but the water is coming from the ground. So you control the source. With sales, I think I said it at that event, I've seen a lot of poor salespeople, but I'm yet to see a poor marketer as long as they're good, because they might, even if you, let's say, hate selling, you can hire someone and have an amazing salesperson close your deals as long as you know how to generate channel demand, right? Which is the part that I want everyone to focus on. I know, like, if you Google right now, it's a dime a dozen, so many sales courses. I'm not saying it's not important. What I'm saying is you got to know what comes first, right? So, and a lot of the salespeople who've sold before, sometimes they fall into this trap of, well, I know everything, so you give me something, I'll sell it, which is good. But what's better is to grow an actual company and have the marketing under control, like constant flow of demand, right? You never want to run short on the source of things, which is that. Like, to your point about taking imperfect action, as I always say, perfection, the idea of perfection is the enemy of profitability, right? Which is so true. Think about anything that you learn in life. You haven't learned it. You haven't learned that through perfection. The first time you try to walk, you didn't wait until you're 7 years old and you're like, all right, I think I can do it right now. My brain has grown. I'm going to have the perfect posture. My feet are big. I'm going to try. No, the moment that you start putting things in your mouth when you're 6 months, 7 months, you try to get up. How many times do you fall? I don't know. 10,000, 5,000, 1,000. But Jamar, does that matter to you right now, that how many times you fell? No, you're an upright guy and walking. You're walking and you figured it out before you turn 2, right? So if our body is designed that way, why are we putting ourselves in situations that we think that we need a year, 6 months, 3 months? Or I get questions like, oh, should I finish the entire blueprint and take action? I'm like, no, there shouldn't be anything that you should always focus on money-making activities. If you learn something, like you said, well, if I ask you to send the damn flyer, send the damn flyers. Don't think about why and how. It's okay. Like, you just create a lot of opportunity. That's how you grow, through imperfection. If you wait for the right color, the right logo, or let me understand the philosophy behind things, then you're slowing down. And Jamar comes in and builds like a 20 employee company before you do, right? So that mindset is taught to us through the school system. Like, let's get everything under control. That's taught by your boss at the corporate. But when you become an entrepreneur, that's the biggest change, is transition that people have difficulty with. Let me just get ready, right? So, what are you going to get ready for? You don't even know what you're getting ready for. Just take action, and the ready will happen over time. And over time, weren't you surprised when you make $16,000? And would you have made that deal 4 months ago? Would you even imagine yourself being involved with a deal like that?
Hey, and not only not have imagined that. Well, you know, something that blew my mind with this industry, and I'm so happy. That's why you see my face. I'm used to the real estate. So I'm used to, I put it on contract and I close 45 days later.
At least, yeah.
At least. When I find out that on Tuesday I meet a client, on Wednesday we got offers, on Thursday got funded, and depending on what time I might get paid on Thursday or at the latest on Friday. And I was like, what? I was like, whoa. I said, this is amazing. Like, you know, like, oh, I need to make money. Well, I got 100 people to call. Let's call them, because we can make money. It should be like, how much money can I make this week?
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
This is how powerful this industry. Yeah. How much money can I make this week? It's not like whatever I put on contract now, I'm gonna close in November. No. How much money I want to make this week? Well, get to hustle, like make those calls, right?
Even if you're starting brand new, it's a reason to feel proud of what you're doing, because you genuinely have access to all of those people that probably, I mean, it has taken me over 10 years to build those relationships. You don't want to take 10 years to build it. So you get access to it immediately. And they know that these partners, why do they support us? Because they know that if someone is coming through a BLB, they're already trained. They know what to ask. They know how to work. There's a support system. So it's a win-win-win situation. It's a win for the merchant. They work with legitimate companies who are backed by the actual lenders. For lenders, that's awesome, because they don't have to have a training team. They don't have to have like sales team, closers. They don't have to have BLB. They can rely on it. For the brokers, it's awesome because they can talk to one customer and be able to offer 20 different lending options and see whatever is the fit. And there's a speed of funding and all of that. So you get all of that. That's why, like, I just tell people all the time, at least check it out, like to compare against what you have in your mind. Like, yeah, you might be doing another business, or you might be considering another industry. Trust me that you're going to come across things that you never heard of. It's going to blow your mind about this industry, because this is not mainstream. And you want to get into industries before before they become mainstream, right? Everyone now knows that Tesla is a valuable company, but only a few people knew that Tesla was going to explode 20 years ago, 15 years ago, right? And they made the money. So this is the same way. Alternative lending industry has been growing triple digits over the past 9 years, and we're barely scratching the surface right now. There's just a lot. Like, as you know, we just added a lender that funds up to almost $100 million. Like, if you have Airbnbs and you need funding, the banks don't want to give you funding because they're just slow. Like, they don't understand the Airbnb model. And it's just like, they're huge to make, it's a big deal for them. But now we have alternative lenders in our industry. They can fund Airbnbs and other different real estate options, and they can go up to hundreds of millions of dollars, which we didn't have 2 years ago. So we're constantly evolving and meeting these partners and, vetting them to make sure that they're the right partners. We check out their credentials. We find out how many deals they funded, and only then bring it into our community. So things like that. So we won't stop. If anyone is watching with you or without you, this industry is going to grow. BLB is going to grow. But I think it's worth for you to check out for your own future. Would you say so, Jamar?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like this is it. I love this industry. I'm not going anywhere. We got help, right? We got help and hard work. That's just it, man. This is an amazing industry to be in. Holy Grail, right? That was the word that my mentor used for this industry. I mean, like, just imagine how that sounds. Holy Grail. So, I mean, yeah, this is a great industry. You even said it at that Power Day. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Opportunity of your life right here. So,
and I do mean it. I live it every day. I see it every day. It has helped me with my life, and it has allowed me to help other people with that. That's awesome, man. I know you're a busy guy, so I'm glad that we jumped on this call and caught up. But anyone who's watching, Jamar, I mean, I can vouch for him. Alliance Capital. We're going to put his information below. So if you're looking for capital, you're not interested in starting a business, but you just want to get some loans for your business, startup, real estate, he's your go-to guy. You can reach out to him and talk to him. Obviously, you can tell he has a very strong character, work ethic. He's doing the right thing for his customers. So I highly suggest that you work with him. Any last thoughts, Jamar?
Man, again, one more tip on marketing. Listen, always market. Always. Like I wore this. Alliance Capital says it right here on the back. Yeah. Okay. I wore this to church, to the office, to the gym, to Walgreens, any place. Like, I told my wife, sometimes she gets sick of it. She's like, oh, we're going on a date with something else. And I said, what do you mean I could put this to a wedding? But always, either you're marketing your business or you're going to market something.
You're marketing somebody else's brand. Why would I market Nike or Adidas? They don't pay me for that.
You got to you're going to market something. So why not market what you do?
Absolutely. And be proud of what you do, right? You never want to be the best kept secret. No. So especially when you're starting out, that's one thing I tell our community all the time. Don't wait until you reach success and things like that. Just be proud of what you're doing. You're starting a new business. Tell other people that I'm starting this and I have access to partners. Let me know if you need money or if you know someone who needs capital, I can help you. And that's your script, nothing else. And they'll tell you if they need it, then you'll pass it off to our partners,
Yes, listen, and if you're sitting down at a table, there's 10 people on that table. If you leave that day and you don't tell the other 9 people what you do, you just lost 9 opportunities of telling people what you do.
That's powerful.
Like you were saying, if there is an opportunity for you to grab the mic of the place and say a couple words, I'm happy because this is a beautiful day and the weather, and also happy because I have Alliance Capital and we could help a lot of business owners. If I could help some, listen, doesn't matter if you get nervous. Oh my God, I'm going to get nervous. So what? You know what I mean? This is what you need to do to market what you do so everybody knows what you do. You got to do it. And if you get nervous, even better. It's not nervousness, it's excitement.
It's excitement.
All depends how you want to see it.
Right.
Oh, my heart is going fast. I'm nervous. Well, that's how you want to see it. My heart is going fast. I'm excited.
You're excited.
You see what I mean? It all depends how you want to see it, right? But, get excited within this industry. You have great resources, great program, great mentoring, everything you need to start in this industry. And if anything I could ever give value to anybody, I'm here. And anything I could do for you, Oz and Jen as well.
Love it, man. Thanks so much, brother. Thanks for joining me. Take care.
All right.
Good seeing you. Bye-bye.